I work hard to earn my pay, and I saved real big today at All-American Ford.
Hey everyone, I'm Jason Spino, the Marketing Director for the All-American Auto Group, and this is the All-American Auto Mall in Old Bridge Updates podcast. This is episode number 38, and like I've been doing, I'm doing a video portion for anybody who likes to watch the video on YouTube or Facebook, where I kind of show stuff up on my screen for things that I'm talking about. And then obviously the audio version, I do it through Buzzsprout, and so if you're using that link, you could also find this wherever you listen to your podcast. So we'll get started. I'll share my screen for the folks watching the video. Like I said, this is episode 38. Last week, I did some weekly updates. We had a bunch of really cool vehicles come in, so I spoke about that a lot. The week before that, I was gushing about the Mustang Mach-E, which I'm probably not going to stop doing for a while because I continue to be able to drive them. And, you know, we keep coming up with different color wraps to customize them, and I'm just in love with that vehicle. So let's get started with episode 38. This episode, I'm going to provide some updates. I'll talk about the big F-150 Lightning reveal that happens this week. And then I'll finish off with some charity stuff from our main charity partner, Jar of Hope, because he's got Jim and Jar of Hope have a crazy rest of the year plan, basically, with a major event each month for the next 4 months. So I'll talk about that. So the big F-150 Lightning reveal happened on 5/19. So that was, when was that? That was Wednesday night at about 9:30 at night. It happened, and this was a big reveal for Ford. The F-150 Lightning, of course, is the all-electric F-150 that's coming out next year. So they put on, Ford Motor Company really did a nice job with it. I actually enjoyed it. It was about 35 minutes long. It goes pretty quick. It's still on their Facebook page. I shared it on the All-American Ford in Old Bridge Facebook page. So if you want to go back and watch it, it's not bad. For a reveal, you know, sometimes those things can be a little bit boring. Again, I'm biased though, but I thought Ford did a nice job. They did it in their, right in front of their Ford Motor Company headquarters in Dearborn, Michigan. And it was cool. They put up a huge screen. They had a huge stage. They brought the F-150 out on the stage, of course. They started it by basically doing a couple nice videos and commercials, and then about the F-150, the history of the F-150, obviously touting how great it is, and, you know, 44 straight years of being the best-selling truck, and all the different accolades that come with being the Ford F-150. So they did a quick little history about it. They had, obviously, the executives come out, and the head chairperson for the team for who built this F-150 Lightning came out, talked about it. Obviously, the F-150 Lightning came out, and then they talked about it more. So it was a good reveal, like I said. Now, if you go to the Ford.com page, and it's on our website as well, you could find this page. They have, the whole page is live now with all information about this all-electric F-150. And I think it looks really nice. I cannot wait to drive one of these. Like I said, and what I did 2 episodes ago with gushing about the Mustang Mach-E, I'm actually full-blown in love with electric right now. And it started with the Mach-E, right? So that was the first big one from Ford. Obviously, I've driven the Fusion Energy before. Ford's had a couple hybrids. They have the hybrid F-150 right now called the Power Boost, which is very popular and doing well. People seem to love that. I drove one. I liked it a lot. Very powerful compared to even a regular F-150. But the Mustang Mach-E, it's just a different type of power, and it feels different. So, you know, people ask about the horsepower, and the horsepower is up there, but you really feel it with the torque. And, you know, because when you step on the pedal, you just go, and it's just a different feel. So I've talked about it a lot with the Mach-E. I expect this F-150 to be the same. When the Ford folks were talking about it during the reveal, they talked a lot about the handling and how it feels like it's the best F-150 that's ever been made, driving-wise, handling-wise, comfort-wise, which, again, driving the Mach-E has been so smooth, and it does feel great driving it. And that's a big complaint with Tesla and other all-electric vehicles for various reasons. So it was funny that they were focusing on that for the F-150. But, I mean, check it out, you know, on either our social media pages or Ford's. Go to Ford.com. Great looking truck. Couple of the key points about it that I thought were interesting. They focused a lot on the Ford Intelligent Backup Power. So it's pretty cool. It can, obviously, the charging is very similar with the Mach-E, again, which I've talked about a lot. So each F-150, each electric vehicle moving forward with Ford, I assume, is basically going to come with a mobile charging kit that plugs into a 120V outlet or a 240V outlet. And then you could purchase from Ford Motor Company, or there's third-party electric chargers you could purchase for your house too. Basically, it's this little box. A certified electrician is supposed to install it, and that's more powerful than the mobile charging kit that comes with the vehicle. So right now, all of our customers, I think so far, that have bought the Mach-E, I'm pretty sure all of them came back and told us that, or ordered on the spot, that they put in a home unit. So that is kind of, the home charging station is the smarter option to do, but you can just, you can get along with just using that mobile charging kit. So with this new Ford F-150, I'm showing it on the screen, and it's on Ford.com. This graphic that kind of shows that, where it's, this Ford charging station at home that you could use that charges your F-150. Fast charging, same thing as the Mach-E. But this one actually, the F-150, you could actually power your house. So if power goes out for whatever reason, the F-150 Lightning, when it's plugged in, becomes a generator that when power goes down, it can power a full home for up to 3 days, or as long as 10 days if the power is rationed, is what they say. So I thought that was pretty interesting, that if it's plugged in, you kind of leave it plugged in. There's different options where you could make it auto or manual to kick in. So it legitimately is a generator. And all of it could be tracked on your Ford Pass app. So I thought that was very interesting, very cool. I don't know if the Teslas do that. I haven't heard that. They don't promote it if it does. They don't promote that with the Mach-E. I don't think it happens with the Mach-E. So it must be something different with this. The current F-150s do have a mobile generator on board. It's called Power Board. So that was already a concept within the F-150. Now, I don't think that one could power a house for 3 days. I think that's more for the work site. I guess this one, which is being electric and, a different battery and different setup, that it can. So I thought that was cool. That's definitely a surprising part. They focused on it a lot during the reveal. So, they're obviously proud of it, impressed by it. And I think they were attacking other electric competitors because of that, because of their focus on it. Moving on to the range and charging solutions, they talked about this a lot, and I'm showing it on the Ford.com page. Targeted EPA estimated 300-mile range. So same thing as the Mach-E, basically. The standard range battery and, gets around 230. Same thing with the Mach-E, I think. And then you could opt for the extended range battery to get to 300. They're all going to be 4x4, which is pretty cool and always good for the Northeast. We don't sell really any two-wheel drive trucks, really. And then the charging I kind of touched on before, but it's very similar to the Mach-E and charging speeds and everything. Nothing, I don't think any of the specific details around the charging have been released in terms of how long it could take to charge. But like the Mach-E, you plug it in overnight. It doesn't have to be plugged in overnight. And there's the different charging options based on the speed of it that you want to achieve. A couple other things I wanted to talk about with it. So the 15.5-inch touchscreen, again, very similar to the Mach-E. Looks like a big vertical iPad screen in your car that you could do a lot of cool stuff with. I really liked it in the Mach-E. I thought initially that it was a little bulky and looked a little weird, but once you're in it and you're using it and playing around with it, I think it's really cool, actually. The price of it. So this was a big talking point too, actually. It's interesting because they're doing an entry-level model that starts just under $40K, which for an F-150 is very impressive, especially one that's going to be, 4x4. But it says in parentheses on the Ford.com site that that's commercial oriented. So it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. I guess that's focused more on, businesses that just need a pickup truck They don't need anything fancy or luxurious within it. And that'll be interesting to see, but that's under 40K. Then it kind of talks about how a well-equipped, XLT, which is the trim level that we sell the most of here, it's the most popular. That's going to be around 52K, which again is the same thing right now for the most part, not that far off. And then, you could get all the way up to, you get crazy with it and get up to 90K, which honestly you can almost with an F-150 now with the Platinum and, adding a bunch of options and features into it. So the pricing was a big thing coming into it. I'm very glad to see that it's going to stay in line with the regular F-150 and what people are used to and what's happening, recently with the F-150. So pricing's right in line. The interesting thing to mention is that you're going to get that $7,500 federal tax credit, the same one that you get with the Mach-E. So if you think about that, you take a $50,000 MSRP on an F-150, you take away $7,500 from that, from the tax credit and tax return, and it becomes a very, very affordable, really nice F-150 at that trim level. So it's very interesting, the economics behind it and the cost savings. And I've talked about that in detail on the Mach-E episode as well. Couple other things to point out. Ford.com has started to release some of the numbers about what the targeted maximum towing capacity is going to be, payload, stuff like that. All of it is great and pretty much in line with, regular F-150s. So, and a lot of the stuff is even enhanced. So the power and acceleration, we talked about that before. The horsepower is going to be around 560, which is very high for an F-150. I mean, you're getting, close to a Roush Performance F-150 at that number. But the torque and the acceleration are crazy and a lot better than the current F-150s and the gas-powered, even the heavy V8 engine and the very powerful V8 engine, I should say. So, it's very exciting. I think we have a lot to look forward to with it. I think it's got a lot of cool options. There's a million things you could go through on here about it, and I think it was a great reveal. Can't wait for it. The big thing to basically talk about to end it is that you can now reserve it. So all you do is go to our website or Ford.com. You select a dealership, so hopefully you're selecting All American Ford in Old Bridge, and then you put a $100 deposit down to reserve it. You're not picking a trim level. You're not picking anything to do with the vehicle. You're not even seeing the price, really. You're just kind of, Ford Motor Company called it, holding your spot in line. In the fall, later this year, the ordering bank's going to open up. That's where your reservation in line is going to come into play. And that's when you're going to get all the trim information, all the pricing, all the options. You choose everything and you officially order it in the fall. Then it's going to arrive at dealerships middle of next year. So same type of timeline that happened with the Mach-E in terms of, and the Bronco to that effect. You reserve your spot in line with a $100 deposit. You order it, you pay for it, you select all the options, then it comes in. So we're looking middle of 2022, and that's where we're at. That's the F-150 Lightning. I'll be talking about it way more as we get closer and as more information starts to come out. All right, so next, just a couple updates to end it, and then we'll close out. So the big new vehicle that we got in, the cool new vehicle, I should say, that finished this week, that we posted about actually today on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, is our custom cyber orange and black Ford Ranger XLT. Pictures are on the screen now, and you could find more pictures of it on our website or social media, like I said. And I think it looks great. The pictures don't do it justice. It almost looks like a little bit of a yellow. In person, the color looks completely different. So you got to see it in person. But it's a very, very cool truck. I like it. It stands out a lot. If you like orange, I think this is an amazing vehicle for you if you like to stand out. It's definitely out there, and it's going to stick out. And we did some really cool customizations with blocking out certain areas, the grill, the logos, and then adding that color match cyber orange that the body color is to, the logos, some of the emblems throughout, the taillights. We color matched and did two-tone and darkened them. So, and then the wheels we painted with the cyber orange for that custom feel with the wheels. So very cool vehicle. Check it out. We've done a few Rangers customization wise, but we've never done, I don't think, a cyber orange one. I think our northern stores actually have a cyber orange one too that they customize. So, we do have them now. So that was pretty cool. And then just quickly to touch on the Jar of Hope stuff. So I've talked about this in previous episodes. I'll continue to talk about it as we get closer to it. Visit the Jar of Hope website to see all of this. But basically next month, June 11th, is the celebrity boxing where Jim's going to be fighting on pay-per-view, trying to raise awareness and money. He's already gotten a lot of money, a lot of supporters, a lot of sponsorships. So check that out. I think tickets are still available. Or the pay-per-view is available, and there's viewing parties and stuff. So visit jarofhope.org for more information on that. In July, he's going to do another, and when I say he, Jim and his Jar of Hope team, they're going to do another record-breaking walk. So a couple years ago, they walked from Washington, D.C. to Old Bridge, New Jersey, here for our All-American Ford in Old Bridge store. They stopped at Ford dealerships along the way and raise money and awareness. So they're doing the same concept with Subaru and our All-American Subaru in Old Bridge store, where they're doing 300 miles in a week. They're walking from University of Massachusetts all the way down here to central New Jersey. So that's July 11th to July 18th. Then in August, we get to our Jar of Hope third annual golf outing, which is fantastic. All-American Ford always does a hole-in-one vehicle sponsorship for that. And then me and my brothers, my family, we play in that tournament. So it's always a great time. So looking forward to that. That's August 13th. So you can sign up for that. There's sponsorships available, foursomes available, corporate foursomes available to be purchased as well. And then in September, on September 13th, Jim has put together a Jar of Hope golf ball drop, where it's $1 million golf ball drop. He is trying to sell 1,000 golf balls at $1,000 each. And basically they are going to be dropped. They're going to be numbered. Then they're going to be dropped from a helicopter onto a green. And whatever one comes closest to the hole or goes in the hole wins a 50-50 of however much he raises. So, or I don't think it's a 50-50. I think the winner is guaranteed at least $250K, and then closest after that might win some amounts too. I think he's still working that out, but trying to sell 1,000 golf balls, $1,000 each for this $1 million Jar of Hope golf ball drop, and that is September 13th. So you still have some time. Again, go to the Jar of Hope website. You get all this information. So that's what we're doing from a charity standpoint with supporting Jar of Hope. I always support Jar of Hope. And that's the episode. So thanks for joining, and I'll be back next week.
Well, everyone can